Hello, everyone. We will be starting in just a moment. We're going to give everyone a few more minutes to settle in and come into the room. We're running a few minutes early. Thank you. We're going to give it one more minute until we open the webinar here. Stay tuned. We'll be right with you. All right, so let's get started. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our October Inclusion and Support Services monthly webinar. Tonight, we're going to be talking about supported employment at the JCC through our skills training program, as well as some other really useful community resources on the topic. I'm thrilled to be here tonight with Mallory Zipkin, who is the director of Camp Yachad, waving to you on the bottom, as well as Alex Schulman, who is the director of the skills training program. I'm really excited to share this information with you tonight. We'll give it one more minute. I see a couple other people trying to come in. Thank you so much for your patience. So we are embarking on this journey tonight together because October is actually a really exciting month for National Disability Employment Awareness Month. This month brings great recognition to the capabilities of people who have disabilities and encourages their employment in the workforce. So we are really honored to be a part of that program, especially to support the people in the local community that need these opportunities most. I do want to take a moment to tell you about the incredible services offered through Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West New Jersey, specifically ABLE. The ABLE agency offers an incredible umbrella of services that support individuals and their families through all walks and stages of life. If you have a moment, I did put the link here to the ABLE website and definitely encourage you to click for more information. They have tremendous programming, including vocational support, housing, day programs. They really offer a lot of services, and I definitely encourage you to check that out. Here at the JCC, inclusion truly is an attitude, and it's part of the grain of who we are as an agency. As you can see, we offer a large variety of inclusion programs, and I just wanted to take a moment to highlight some of the programs that are open and appropriate for teenagers and young adults. That's why you're all here tonight. So I wanted to start off with bringing your attention to Club Connect. This is an after-school program for teens and young adults with disabilities. The program includes snacks, social skills, time in our fitness center to work out and learn new skills, as well as recreational opportunities. And we do also build in opportunity for community service. It's so important that our teens have the opportunity to be on the giving end and not just on the receiving end. We do offer a variety of fitness and wellness programs, including adaptive swim, personal training, and adaptive yoga. All of these programs are offered by trained professionals that have taken certifications and coursework in this area. You're going to hear from all of us tonight on the skills training program. And we do also offer a variety of support services, including our Parent Pass program, which offers parents educational advocacy and supports. Our speaker series, stay tuned in February for our Special Needs Resource Directory and our in-person fair, which we are thrilled to bring back now that COVID has tapered out a bit. We also offer community events and a calendar, as well as local referrals, and are happy to provide accommodations into any programs that are requested. So with that, I would like to turn it over to Mallory Zipkin, our camp director, to talk about what the skills training program is and the journey on how it came to be.
Thanks, Beth. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's been such an incredible journey to build this program that we are so proud to offer. So many years ago at this point, I think it was about 8 years ago now, or 7 or 8 years ago, my co-director at the time and I sent out the same email that we send out every year, right around this time actually, to our wider membership, to everybody who had a child of a certain age that was sort of aging out of our camper program and getting ready to join our staff program, saying, hi, it's Mallory and Jody. We're reaching out to say your child just finished the camper program and they should apply to work at camp as a counselor in training. And we got an email back from one of our parents saying, hey, did you mean to send this to us? And she said that because her child had autism. And she wanted to know if it was appropriate for her child to apply to work as a counselor in training. And my co-director and I looked at each other and we said, you know what? Yes, we did mean to send it to her. Let's figure this out. So we invited her in for a meeting to discuss how we could best accommodate her child working at Camp Yaha that summer. And from there sort of grew this beautiful experience for her child that summer. And we worked together to intentionally plan a summer for him that was fit for his needs and built around his interests. And it really was focused on working with a specialist in an area that was interesting and exciting to him. And he was mentored by that specialist who, worked closely with him and mentored him and coached him. And when the summer ended, she came to us and said, this was such a transformational experience for him. How can we do this for more kids like him? And she helped us build this program to now exist for others. And after that summer of just one teen experiencing that program, we built the skills training program together with her support and partnership. And 8 years later, we now have anywhere from 6 to 10 participants a summer, formally working in camp with job coaches as assistant specialists with mentors under Alex's formal supervision. They go through an interview process and intake, and I know that there will be more information about that later in the conversation, so I'll let Alex and Beth discuss that. It's a paid position. There is staff training associated with it. There are many social experiences and growth opportunities. They work alongside their peers, and it's really a mutually enriching and beneficial experience for us as the employers and for the rest of our staff, as well as these really incredible employees in the program. And I really am so grateful to that parent who pushed us all those years ago to think differently to support her child, and helped us to support this beautiful program to grow for others through her work. Without her partnership, this never could have happened. So I'm very grateful for that. And really, this program does still to this day look different for everyone who's part of it, because we recognize that it's not a one-size-fits-all experience for each of the participants in it. There are definitely criteria that is necessary for each of the participants to join, but the experience that they each have is unique to them, their needs, their experience, their abilities, what they want to get out of it, and what they're able to put into it also. And I think that that's one of my favorite parts about this program. Beth, you're muted. I see you speaking, but you're muted.
Thank you. Thank you, Mel, for sharing that journey. For many of our campers, they see the journey from camper to counselor, and it is this rite of passage. And as you mentioned, there's just a lot of pride in being able to offer this. So with that, we're going to move on. One moment, please. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. From here, we're going to talk with Alex, and she's going to walk us through what a day in the life of the skills training program looks like. Alex, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Sure. Hi, everyone. So glad to be here. This really is such a customized program for every individual who participates in it. The goal is to meet the needs of the employee, to really dive deep into their strengths and build on skills that are necessary in the workforce. The day starts with a meeting, a group meeting with me every day, direct instruction in convocational and social skills. This includes roles and responsibilities, stress management, how to cope under stressful situations, appropriate conversations to have in the workplace, especially around children, teamwork sort of building, executive functioning, including time management, where to be at a certain time in camp, across campus, or where you have to go, or knowing that I have to be from this point to go help out this person at this time, organization, planning with the mentor. So once that meeting is over, first thing in the morning, we all go to Boker Tov, which is the all camp experience that everyone loves. And we all participate in that as sort of it's a great way to start the day with the entire camp there. Once Boker Tov is over, each assistant specialist goes to their specialty area. And that looks different for every individual. The different activities include, some of them include tumble, and I think there's a slide about this later, but tumble jam or art or J values, discovery, which is more science-based and discovery-based, swim, there's a rock wall station. So it's really based on what their interests are, and then pairing the mentor, the teacher of that activity with their assistant specialist, so that they are coached every step of the way through it. They have a companion there with them throughout their entire day. And then that mentor provides feedback to me eventually, which I'll get into. From 9:30 to 12 after Boker Tov, they are in that area. And then we have a lunch all together. I sit with them on the campsite or in the cafe, wherever weather permits us to go. But usually we're around campers also, but we all sit together and sort of socialize and debrief about how the morning is going. There's a period of swim or sort of a break time. If they choose to go swimming, they have that break sort of built in. And then after that, they go back to work in their specialty area for the remainder of their day. The day does go from 8:30 roughly to 2:30. We feel that that's ample amount of time for them to get their hands involved completely in a work experience and allow for some mental breaks throughout the day. We all need that, and we think that's important. Throughout the camp week and days, we go to Shabbat on Fridays. Every camp event we participate in some way. In terms of the reviews that the employees get, the mentors speak to me about what needs to be improved on or what skills they saw that the individual do very well. And then I meet with every participant on a weekly basis, at least once, twice a week, to go over the rubric. There's a rubric of criteria that we sit and go over, and everyone knows the criteria ahead of time. I prep them, I prime them with everything they need to know about what the mentors are looking for, what I'm looking for in the program. It becomes a very tight-knit community. We all feel very welcomed in the group, and the entire sort of experience is customized to the individual needs of the participants. So I think I spoke a little bit about some of these activities. Basically, my role as the assistant director, I work with the assistant specialist and the specialist mentor to sort of help them navigate the ins and outs of what could possibly be challenging or reward and celebrate what went very well for them within the day of camp. And I do, it's important that I see everyone every day to sort of touch base with them throughout the day of camp, because every day brings a new experience.
Thank you so much, Alex, for telling us about a day in the life of an assistant specialist. You really sort of captured that very unique relationship between the employee, their mentor, and your role in coordinating what their experience is going to look like. So with that, I do want to take a few moments to talk about who might be a good candidate for the skills training program. We recognize at Camp Yachad that everyone brings different strengths to the program, and everyone has different areas of need. So at this point, I'm going to review some qualities, but please know that everyone brings something special to the program, and your particular child may have several of these qualities and still be working on, cultivating some of these other points of growth. So in terms of the program, we usually recommend that kids are applying, young adults are applying in their late teens through mid-20s. The reason for this is because it is beneficial to have some type of exposure to pre-employment, whether that is through your school district or volunteer experience. We have just found that this is a beneficial piece of the component that leads to their comfort and their success early on. Our employees need to be able to express their wants and needs, to request, to interact with campers, with their peers and supervisors in an expected manner. And part of Alex's role, as well as their mentor, is to help scaffold and support these communication expectations. We do that through modeling. We do that through direct instruction during their morning meeting. So these are some of the soft skills that we will be focusing on as part of the direct instruction. Candidates that do well in this role are able to follow multi-step instructions. For example, a 2-3-step instruction. If we're thinking about preparing art materials for the group coming in, or perhaps we're setting up equipment for the next sports group coming through. So just that ability to process what they're hearing and then carry that out. Now, that doesn't preclude our staff from providing prompts. Of course, that's necessary, but to have that general ability is really something that can help someone progress through the program very quickly. It is extremely important that the staff person is able to navigate our building independently and safely. They are not supervised by their mentor or the program director at all times. There are breaks. There are times when they'll be walking through the building to get from one place to another. And we want to make sure that all of our employees feel comfortable and are safe in doing that. We also do require that staff are independent with their self-care. So they are able to, change in and out of a bathing suit, use the restroom independently, wash hands, etc. One of the key components that I know Alex works on a very frequent basis, daily, if not hourly, is helping the staff in the program manage frustration, manage constructive feedback. And what we look for in assistant specialist is someone who is eager to take that feedback and apply it forward, and can do so in an appropriate way. We really look for people that are enthusiastic, who bring a positive attitude to camp and truly want to be part of our camp community. We look for someone who is ready to commit to both our staff training as well as the days and hours that they'll be working. We also highly encourage our applicants to consider the actual camp environment itself. Take a deep, hard look. Are you comfortable working in the summer heat? Are you comfortable being outside? Are you comfortable with noise, with having people around you, with a busy environment? We recognize that sometimes this can be challenging for folks in the program. And we do work closely with our staff to get through any difficult moments. There is a lot of transition throughout the day with different groups coming in and out of the specialty area. So the general camp environment is exciting and busy, and something to take into consideration if you're going to consider applying for an assistant specialist program position. And I did want to mention that we do give priority to applicants who have displayed successes in other JCC programs. For example, perhaps a camper that has excelled in the shadow program, and we've been able to pull back those supports over the year, and now they're looking to move their experience in camp forward. And most importantly, we are looking for somebody that is excited and eager to work, as opposed to looking for an experience that mirrors a camper's experience. We really want someone that is eager and understands the world of work. So what is the process for applying? This year, the program is running from July 3rd through August 18th. As Mallory and Alex mentioned, the hours are from 8:30 to 2:30. However, we generally work with each of our staff people to determine what their hours are going to be. If it's someone that has the capacity to work through 4 o'clock and they'd like to do that, and we have mentorship available, that may be a possibility. If the person tires quickly and they need more frequent breaks, we would fold that into the day. So that's something that can be easily tweaked and personalized for each person in the program. So in terms of applying for this program, please send me an email stating that you're interested. There is a tab on the camp website where you can apply to apply for a position. And when you go into that application tab, you're going to look for the position of assistant specialist and check that box off. The link is right here, and Mal, maybe you can type that into the chat as well. In terms of what the application process looks like from that point, there is a specific application for the applicant, your child, to complete. There is also a feedback form that's required from a parent or guardian, as well as a form for their current teacher to complete that would serve as their letter of reference or their recommendation form. The reason that we gather so much information from many perspectives is because each of these people, the applicant themselves, the parent, the teacher, has a different lens of how this person is going to engage in the program. And that's really valuable information when we're trying to match the applicant with an appropriate mentor and an appropriate specialty area. The culmination of that process is an interview. And an interview is required for every single staff person that we bring on. Their peers are interviewing for comparable positions. And we really wanted to make this process as realistic and as functional as possible to give them the experience of going all the way through the application process. So usually we run interviews in the spring, and at that point we would notify your child if they were accepted to the program. So here are some of the photos of the skills training program. I just wanted to highlight a few things. On the top left, you see a beautiful photo of a large group of people. This is a combination of our skills training staff who are assistant specialists, as well as the specialists that mentor them. And of course, Alex is in that photo as well. I really picked these photos because they really capture the true essence of the program. You see photos of our staff working with children in different capacities, friendships being formed. On the bottom left, you see a photo of two of our staff implementing some of the strategies that are worked on in small group instruction. And I picked the photo in the middle of this beautiful blue staff shirt because our staff really take pride in putting that staff shirt on. And nobody at camp knows who's in the program. They just see a staff shirt like everyone else. I think that's pretty evident by the smile on his face. So with that, I also wanted to be able to provide you with some additional community resources that will help your child prepare for future gainful employment. So there are many, many options for preparing for gainful employment. The two I'm going to focus on for the next few minutes are DVRS, which is the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation Services, as well as DDD, which is the Division of Developmental Disabilities. According to the New Jersey Special Education Code, transition planning for adult services and adult life, including employment, should actually begin at age 14. And legally, this transition plan must be included in the IEP when the child becomes 16 years old. Unlike a triennial reeval, there is no waiver for a transition plan. This is required because it is so important to set that child up for success post-graduation. So DVRS can begin to have conversations with the district and the family, as well as the student at age 14 through what's called their pre-employment transition services, or PREATs. You can start having those conversations about what that transition might look like, what agencies you should connect with, and you can even invite someone from DVRS to your IEP meeting and coordinate through your child study team. In terms of eligibility is based on a number of factors, including age, Medicaid status. There is an intake and an assessment tool required called the NJCAT, and you can begin to plan for these services well ahead of time, and you'll be eligible for services when the child turns 21 years of age. So I did want to take a moment to go over PREATs with DVRS because they offer such tremendous services. For example, job exploration, they offer internships, readiness training, self-advocacy, and all of these services, again, can be folded right into the transition plan section of your IEP. So I would definitely encourage you to have those conversations with your child study team early. Once the child turns 21 and becomes eligible for adult services, they can take advantage of job seeking, coaching, one-to-one coaching, assistance with requesting accommodations in the workplace, things that are truly related to gainful employment at 21 years of age or older. Now, on the flip side, DDD, through the Department of Developmental Disabilities, offers a wider variety of services, but generally services people who have a higher level of need. So they may provide direct services like speech or occupational therapy, employment support, financial support. They can help with housing, adult services like adult day centers, and transportation. So again, it really depends on the needs of the individual, which would be determined through the NJCAT and the intake process. So I wanted to provide you with some direct contacts that can be helpful when you're considering your journey with transition planning. The best place to begin is always with your district case manager. They are knowledgeable about community-based programs, the programs that are offered in your district with partner programs. But if you need to go outside of that district case manager for information, please reach out to SPAN, to the Parent Advocacy Network. Dawn Monaco runs the Real Transition Partner Program. She's an incredible wealth of information and runs regular webinars and events specifically for transition planning. Adam Kubler is the director over at the ARC of New Jersey. He runs two programs. There's a School to Work program, which is for primarily 18 to 21, as well as Project Hire, which is 21 and over, through DVRS. And he can also be of benefit if you're thinking about planning your transition plan, or if you're in the place where you might need supported employment. The other resource that I recommend, specifically if you have a child who is on the autism spectrum, is the Autism New Jersey Helpline. This helpline is an incredible resource on all things related to autism support, but they have a specifically strong sort of catchment in terms of providing supports in transition planning. So those are a couple of really good connections that you can make no matter where you are on your journey. I also wanted to mention some of the partners that we work with at the JCC that we refer folks to. Spectrum Works and Project Search provide employment pre-training services generally for students. Project Search is actually located over at Overlook Hospital, and I'm really proud to say that the director of the on-site program at Overlook, whose name is Jordan Spencer, was actually part of the original creation of the skills training program. So as you can see, you're in very good hands here. Spectrum Works also offers a postgraduate program. Ability Match is really a concierge service that provides one-to-one vocational matching with local community partners. And the folks over at Community Access Unlimited, our partners at Jewish Vocational Services, as well as the ARC of Union County or the ARC of New Jersey, all offer some type of supported employment program, and they're extremely reputable and a great place to start if you're looking for some resources. So that brings us to the end of our discussion about the skills training program. We are going to take questions in a few moments. I did want to mention that coming up in November, in honor of Caregiver Awareness Month, we will be doing a webinar on caring for the caregiver, taking care of yourself so that you can also take care of others. That'll be coming up on November 16th. Information will be coming out about that shortly. If you're able to help support our inclusion programs, we are always appreciative of your support. And if you need to get in touch with me, I've put all of my contact information on the screen here, and we'll send out the information after the PowerPoint, so you have all of this at your fingertips. So with that, I would encourage you to put any questions into the chat, and we'll start answering those questions for you. You can also put them into the Q&A feature on the bottom of your screen. Thank you, Mallory, for putting that website into the chat there, as well as the email contact. I appreciate that. So I'll give you a minute to submit any questions. In the meantime, while we're waiting to see if any questions come in, I would love to share a success story from the skills training program. We have a young man who had been with us as a camper in the shadow program for many, many years and really enjoyed being in the camp environment. He came of age where he aged out of our shadow program and entered the skills training program. And he's been with our program for several years in the rock climbing specialty area. and has really taken this job opportunity on and made it his own in such a way that he has really become a lead. The campers look forward to seeing him. He's so encouraging and so excited every time one of our campers reaches the top of the rock wall. And the growth that we've seen from him year after year is just tremendous. All right, here is our first question. Is the job 5 days a week, or can it be less days each week? Generally, the job is 5 days a week because we offer the specialty within the camp day 5 days a week. We do that for consistency purposes. Every now and again, folks do need to take a day off here or there for something out of the ordinary, but we do encourage consistency and definitely encourage our staff, to value the day's work and make that commitment. I don't see any more questions at the moment, which is just fine. I did want to note that if you have any additional questions that you didn't think of this evening or that you'd like to ask, you can definitely reach out to me. Mallory has put my contact information right into the chat. And, we can certainly get back to you to answer any questions. We all recognize that this experience is highly individualized for each person. And sometimes it's difficult to ask general questions when everyone really has their own set of strengths and needs. So that being said, if there are no more questions, we just want to thank you for your time and for your interest in the skills training program. And please feel free to reach out to us with any questions. We're happy to steer you in the right direction. So thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you again next month. Take care. Bye-bye.